Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast. With your host, as always, I'm Michael. He's Jacob, coming to you live on another beautiful Friday afternoon or morning or evening, wherever you may be joining us from. Shout out to everyone across the pond. Shout out to everyone in North America, South America. I think we've had a viewer from every single continent, and I think there was 1 year, Jacob, that we even had a viewer from Antarctica. So shout out everyone who tunes in. I think it might have been South Africa.
It was South Africa. It was South Africa.
South Africa. Now that I remember. But
very close geographically, though.
How are you doing, man? I'm doing great. A little bit excited, a little bit sad, a little bit anxious, just kind of nervous all around. How are you doing, my friend? We have a lot to talk about today. Antonio Conte news, Tottenham news, international news, and Julian Nagelsmann news? Question mark. How are you doing, my friend?
Julian Dangelsman. I mean, come on. Who can't get excited about that? But I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good despite all the, negativity surrounding the club that we love so much. Yeah. But I'm doing pretty good myself personally in my life. There was some bullshit that happened to me early on, but you know what they say, like a rubber band, you got to get pulled back to go ahead and
comes back. It always
launch
comes back.
Forward. Yeah, so... But I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Tottenham's a
lot better than Tottenham Hotspur. A lot better than Tottenham Hotspur.
As of lately, I did a stream with Colin Sievers from Talking Ball. And
shout out Colin.
Yeah, shout out Colin. Which we should shout out the patrons first. But I was on a stream last night with him, and I realized for about 45 minutes I was just a super negative Nancy. It was not not the nicest person.
It's not surprising because a lot of the time you're the more positive one, and I'm the more kind of pessimistic / kind of neutral one. I'm not too extreme on either side usually, but you're usually pretty positive. You like to spin it, but it kind of describes the state of the club, doesn't it, my friend?
It definitely describes the state of something. First and foremost, before we get too further along into it, let's say what's up to Alan 10-inch Sibley, member of the Soggy Undies Club.
Yes, sir.
Big up to the 10-inch club members, Aaron Dub, Maha, Hotspur, Leo Coys, Queen Ellie, and C. Shearman. Big up to the official supporters, Scott M., James George, J. Code, David, Jamie, and Jack Knicky of the Irish Hotspur. Big up to Lovers Lane as well. We got a new Lovers Lane member. So shout out Bobby K, Gina Kim, Tom Markinen, Colin from Talking Ball, and new member Wayne Bonner.
Thank you, Wayne.
Big up Wayne.
Shout out Wayne.
Shout out Wayne and C Cubed as well. I always save C Cubed for last. Save the best for last. You know what I mean?
Always.
So and, big shout out to everyone on that. Yeah, what's up,
Jacob? How can you become a loyal Patreon member?
Oh, let me be a little bit more prepared, and I'll just drop a little doodly link there. And
so all they have to do is hit the link and then click whatever tier they want. It's that simple?
That's really all they got to do.
All right.
That's really all they got to do. And there it goes. It's hit the waves now.
And if they don't necessarily want to show us support in a monetary way, what other ways can people support the channel?
You can do as it says down below, Mike, right there. Just hit that like, hit that subscribe, which shout out everyone who's already done that. I'm about to get this poll rolling. I couldn't
always
get it.
Always have to.
Yeah, I'm about to get the poll going. Don't worry.
Every stream.
I don't do that. I don't do that. Have you liked the video? I'm just going to ask you kindly, like the video while you're here. Participate in the poll once it's live. But, there's just...
Let's say what's up to everyone in the chat.
Yeah. I'll let you run through that while I try and get myself sorted out over here. Plus, I gotta hit the group chats that were live. You know what I mean? Gotta let everyone know.
Want to give a shout out to the coffee company himself, the owner of the coffee company himself, Ben Kaufman, the one, the only. And yes, we are Smexy. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Shout out Perchy TV. Big up, guys. Big up yourself, mate. Thank you for joining us today. Top Spurs. Big up Jacob and Mike. Big up yourself, man. Top Spurs. Shout out. loyal member, loyal supporter, always in the chats. Chris says, Mike and Jacob, big up, bro. Big up yourself and welcome in. Israel Uncovered, thank you so much for joining us today. Shafai, excuse me if I'm botching that, but thank you. He says, Jacob, I'm hydrated and ready for some Spurs talk. We're ready as well, man. There's a lot to get into.
Hey, no, he knows. Hold up. I'm going to pause for the cause. Shafai, thank you for the reminder, my friend. Because, hey, I be out here reminding people, you got to stay hydrated. Bless your body. You know what I mean? So I'm going to pause for the cause, my friend. Thank you for the reminder.
This ain't alcohol. Trust me, this is water.
Mm-hmm. You know, we like to stay hydrated out here in United Spurs America. Because when you keep it wet, Michael, you got to replenish the fluids. That's how you maintain wetness.
But we're always moist. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you got to keep it right. You got to keep it right. We're always moist out here.
Patty, the one, the only. Thank you so much for joining in, mate. He's also always in the chat as well. Thank you. He's a good supporter, man. He's a good friend of the channel as well. Good friend of the pod. And then the one, the only, the 10-inch himself. He's here. He's announcing himself that he's here. We see you, mate. Thank you for joining us today. As always, loyal member, and has a own tier named after him. What a fucking legend! What a fucking legend! I can
cuss.
The
founder of the Soggy
first 10 minutes
Club
of the stream because we're still not monetized. YouTube.
Hey,
come on,
not till April. Not till April. Not till April. Oh, we lost a sub. Someone unsubbed. So we're at 1,037 subs. So if you haven't subscribed to United Spurs of America, please do that as we speak. Will be much appreciated. Big up Amir. Says, hope everyone's well. Big up, big up. Big up Jamie. Evening all. Jacob, Mike. Big up Chris. He's bigging up Patty. Big up Ellie. How you doing? The queen of Queen of North London, shall I say.
Are you pissed off at what is happening at our beautiful club? Because I am. Conte was right to call them. Yep. He was right to call him out. You're right. And I agree. Jacob agrees.
Bring him out.
I think everyone knows how we feel. We were talking about it on Saturday after the match, after the 3-3 draw at Southampton, after Conte's comments to the board, to the players, to the club itself, the 20 years, only one trophy. He's right, man. He's right. He is definitely right. And Thaj in the chat. What up? Big shout out. Big shout out to you, my friend.
Yeah,
big shout out to you. Thank you for joining us. Jay Co says, Mike and Jacob, how are you, mates? Doing pretty well, man. A little bit, like I said, a little bit hopeful, a little bit nervous, a little bit sad as well, just regarding Conte, the so-called quote-unquote managerial search that figuratively is going on, but actually kind of really shouldn't be because Conte is still employed with the club. But there are talks of him obviously, on the way out. We'll get into that in a little bit, but a lot has escalated, Jacob. Let's go ahead and get into it right away, man. A lot has escalated since our last stream on Saturday, particularly, I think it was like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, where it really just started to pop off in terms of Antonio Conte flying back to Italy. And now there are talks he may not come back. There are talks now that Antonio Conte is on his way out, that the club are reportedly in talks just to finalize the deal of the quote-unquote separation between the two parties of Conte and Tottenham. Look, man, me and Jacob, we're Conte in until, we're like the violinists and the violists on the Titanic as it was sinking.
Just play it away,
We're with
baby.
Conte. We're with Conte until he dies. Jacob, you might as well get that cello ready, my friend, because we got to start playing. The ship's going down. At least it feels like it. We were texting each other yesterday and the day before. Just with as new news came out. By the hour, by the day. We were just kind of texting each other back and forth, just kind of our thoughts. But Jesus Christ, man, it really does feel like it's the end of the line for Antonio Conte at Tottenham.
He kind of really just wanted it, is by the sounds of it. He sounds like he just wanted to F off over it. Yeah, but you know what?
Shut up.
What he said, where we're at, I think the blame gets shared between everyone as far as the state of where we're at and the state of this team. Are you breaking the ice tray over there? You getting, what was that? It sounded like something broke. Oh, no, it sounded like something broke. I was like, damn. No, I just think that it doesn't matter at this point who you hire. It doesn't matter who we appoint. I guess I did get a little tingly in the dingly about Mr. Danglesman, but outside of that, I don't really know what would excite me if we appoint who we appoint. I don't really think it matters at this point because this club is in shambles from the top down. It starts there, but no one is blameless, and that's including the players. But I will not blame the fans though, because Michael, you don't kick the ball, I don't kick the ball. So I just don't see how you and I could be to blame, or any one of these beautiful people in the chat tonight. Y'all are not to blame. Don't worry.
I'm not the one that keeps letting the badge down. I'm not
That's
the one
true.
out there.
I wear it proudly.
I'm not the one not giving my all.
What are they doing? What are they even doing, man?
It's just disappointing, man, because now there's reports today coming out of the club saying how the players are fed up and they were getting tired and bored of the training sessions, and how they were just, the dressing room was even worse than the mood at the end of the Jose Mourinho era tenure, if you will. It's just the same shit over and over again. The same players letting the club down. Same quotes coming out of the club after another manager goes down and takes the blame for the club's lack of vision, the board's lack of backing for the manager, and the players' just lack of execution, lack of effort at times, lack of passion at times, lack of spine at times. We've heard it before, man. And unfortunately, I have a feeling that we're going to hear it again. It's not going to be the last time that we're going to hear these quotes, unless these players get out of this club.
I mean, that's the thing is, right? We're just in this revolving state as a club. The managers have all come out and said the same thing. Poch said the same thing before he got sacked. Jose started saying the same thing, well, at least after he got the sack. And then now Conte's saying these things. Whoever we bring in, they're going to say all the right things in the first 6 months of the job, like we've seen. Yep. And then by the 18th month, they'll start saying sour things to me about how the club's run. And that's just going to be the state of Spurs until there's a change. I'm not the kind of guy to sit here and say, oh, this is what's right, this is what's wrong, this is what we got to do or not do. To me, there's a lot smarter people making a lot more money doing what I think should be done. Or hey, Heung-min's son?
Sorry, I just saw a comment in the chat from J. Co. He said, did you see Sonny today? My friend, we were just talking about it before the show. Saw that free kick.
Come on
and
now.
a brace.
Come on now. When you play him in a free roll, guess what you can do?
Sorry, Jacob. I just got excited for Sonny, and I figured you'd probably appreciate it.
I will always. That's another cause I will pause for, my friend. If it comes to Heung-min's son, Heung-min daddy, Heung-min Heung, you know that I will pause for the cause. I don't really remember what I was talking about now because I was just thinking about sun.
No, it's just like wetness, moisture, all around, just soaking.
I better hydrate before.
Yeah, hydrate. Hold on. Me too.
But I do want to say that Sonny playing in that free role for Korea today, Jurgen Klinsmann as the manager, he's playing a free role, got a brace. I mean, the man said after the match that if you just play Son to his best abilities and make sure all the other forwards know. I mean, obviously I'm not quoting verbatim, but if you just let Sonny play in that free role, he can run wild. And some took that as maybe that's a slight to Conte, saying, hey, if you used him right, you could get more out of him as long as everyone else knows how to use him. And I think Harry Kane knows how to use him. Kulusevski, we know how to use him. We did last season. He won the damn Golden Boot. But for whatever reason, he's not being used in that same way this season, and therefore everyone's saying he's done, he's dusted, he's fallen off. May I remind you, he is quite the fucking lad. You don't just lose the power in the boots overnight like that, just because you pose naked in some underwear. Come on, man, it ain't like that.
The name's still Heung-min Heung for a reason. Because he does things like this when you least expect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone doubts him time and time again. And he proves everyone wrong on the international stage, particularly. You know, everyone said he had a bad World Cup. Nah, man, he sent him through. He sent him through to the knockout rounds. He was the reason that they even made the knockout rounds, where he set up Hwang Hee-chan. But
yeah, people want to forget how he set up Hwang Hee-chan on that last. They want to forget about that, but I'll never forget because I was watching that shit. I don't forget like that.
So let's get into it, man, right away. We were talking about Conte. We were talking about just the players in the club letting, the manager down once again. And now there's talk today because it was confirmed. The rumor was yesterday started. The report started at least yesterday. They were confirmed today with the official club announcement. Julian Nagelsmann sacked as Bayern Munich head coach. He was a name in 2019 that me and Jacob were particularly excited about, who we wanted before we hired Jose Mourinho.
I'm sure we got a fucking pod out there somewhere where you're big.
We probably do.
I remember you were the one that was like, we need to go after this Leipzig coach. And I was like, okay, what's up with the Mr. Dangelsman? And then he went to Bayern. And I was like, of course he left of course he went to Bayern and said no to us. Everyone's acting. There's the thing is, some people, which I want to shout out David Irish Hotspur right now because big up Jack and David. But I was hearing him, and he's pretty upset that this man turned us down, and I can understand that. But I'm also like, when it comes to Bayern, bro, they're gonna give you whatever you want.
He's
Look
German.
at who they brought
his dream. It was his dream. It was his dream job.
And now it's a fucking nightmare. He got sacked. What did he drop? 2 matches out of the last 5, and they're like, get the hell out of here. I think he took a skiing trip and hung out with his family.
Champions League. Still
Undefeated. He went 8-8 in the Champions League.
I think behind in the Bundesliga right now.
He went 8-8 in the Champions League. I mean,
it's a hard life for Bayern coaches, man. I'll tell you that. Expectations are at another level. That's what a winning mentality does at a club. You know,
big up David.
That's what happens. That's all I can say. That's how a big club is run. That's how a club who challenges for titles and wins multiple Bundesligas in a row, league titles in a row in general. That's what a big club does, man. And it's ruthless sometimes. But Nagelsmann, man, let's go ahead and get into it. It's a name that we were talking yesterday, and you were saying Gallardo. You wanted Marcelo Gallardo, and I was saying I still want either De Zerbi or Pochettino. the picture that happens to be on the thumbnail of this video. So shout out Jacob for making that thumbnail because it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. If the viewers don't know, I know that there's. If you've followed this pod since the beginning, you'll probably have already heard me probably once or twice about the time that I actually did meet Mauricio Pochettino, Jesus Perez, and the rest of the coaching staff in Denver for the MLS All-Star Game in 2015, summer of 2015. I was still in high school. I met him at the Denver Broncos Stadium. I think, Jacob, you have a picture of it, right? In the background? I know that it's the thumbnail of the video, but do you have the actual picture?
Yeah, I uploaded it to a different. I'll upload it right now because I got it. Don't you
got
worry
it?
about that. You know I got it on my computer. I got it on my phone. I've got it wherever you want it and or need it, my friend.
Check it out. Hold on. I'll actually go ahead and just share my screen because I have additional pictures.
Oh, I ain't seen this one. What you holding out on me, man? What the hell? I ain't seen this one.
Me
zoom into that. Let me see that.
Can I zoom in? I don't know if you can zoom in on that picture.
Yeah, you could. You could definitely zoom in.
Well, anyways, that's bookmarked, and then check it out. MLS All-Star Game with Chirpy. Yep. So, anyways, that is why I love Pochettino. That's why Mauricio Pochettino, obviously with his attacking style as well, the success and almost Premier League title, I guess you could say, in 16-17. And then obviously the Leicester year. I have a connection with Pochettino, all right, an emotional connection. So my preferred candidates would be De Zerbi and then Pochettino. But then the reports came out yesterday and today. They were confirmed, like I said, Julian Nagelsmann out at Bayern Munich. And like I already said, was a name in 2019 that me and Jacob wanted. And now, Jacob, in my opinion, I'm putting it officially on the record, on the podcast, on YouTube, just out there in general. Get this man in the club. He is available. Talent and just overall attacking minded and just perfect fit, if you will. Can stay for a long-term project, is one of those type of managers, loves the youth, and is a and is a manager that plays free-flowing, attacking football generally. Fits the club mantra, if you will. You gotta get him in, man. You gotta get him in. What are your overall thoughts on Nagelsmann and just the overall, I guess, Conte reports and who you want? I know you can talk maybe about Gallardo as well, but Nagelsmann, man, we gotta get him in.
Julian Dangelsman. I'll never say his name any other way. I don't care, even if we're monetized and YouTube emails me personally and says you can't say Dangelsman. If we get Julian Dangelsman, as soon as that was announced, immediately he became a betting favorite. Real quick, I want to say what's up. Rohin Kumar says, big up, guys. Great post-match fan shows on the Irish Hotspur. Big up. Thanks for coming over and being a crossover of that. Got a nice, friendly relationship there, so appreciate you coming over, showing some support here. Look at that, man. Look at that. Let's just get Jesse. No, I don't want Jesse March.
No,
Bader,
please, no.
It's the second
Jesus
day of Ramadan,
Christ, no.
which...
I beg no.
I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
shout
not
out
culturally
to all
aware,
of our
but
Muslim friends.
yeah. Shout out. I was gonna say happy Ramadan, but I don't know. I know
I
that's
think
not.
it is that, right?
It's I don't know.
Mubarak Ramadan.
Yeah,
Ramadan
I was gonna butcher it. I don't want people getting upset, so I'm just gonna say.
But seriously,
big ups.
all
Make
peace
sure
and
you-
love to our Muslim homies out there. Shout out. Hope you
Yeah,
guys are
shout
having
out
a good holiday
Faraz. Shout out
period.
Faraz.
Shout out Faraz, man.
Yeah, shout out Faraz. So big up, Bader. Just want to say that real quick. But as far as Julian Dangelsman, this is a signing that would excite me because, quite frankly, if a team like Bayern's going after you and employs you for several years, to me,
And you have success at Bayern.
that shows that you got a little bit of something in the pants, a little bit of something in the chest region of the vest or jacket, whatever you're wearing. So I think that this would be a good signing. Like I said, kind of off the top of the show, I've been in a very apathetic mood in regards to our manager. I've been in a very much in the headspace of like, I don't really care, burn it all down, which I want to shout out Kuva. He said, burn it all down and start over. And that's kind of, since he said that, slowly like a little match has been dropped in the
wet.
haystack.
That's the water situation.
How's the water situation? Oh, yeah, we're keeping it wet. We
wet.
hydrated off the top. I'm going to hydrate for you one time for the one time. But as I was saying, shout out Kuva, because honestly, Ryan Mason in was kind of where I was at. I was a little bit like, you know what, I'll take Marcelo Gallardo because why not? He shares the same maiden name as my mother. My mother shares, her maiden name is the same. My mother's name was Gallardo, so I do want to shout him out for that. And I was just kind of like, why not? I mean, I know he managed River Plate. He brought up the likes of Enzo Fernandez and Julian Alvarez. These guys are talent that have gone for big fees, and so you got to imagine that he knows what talent looks like at a premature area. So for me, this kind of a no-brainer. If he doesn't operate off a big budget. You mentioned he's counterattacking. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I've seen a ton of River Plate football. I'm basically going off of what I've gathered as far as the internet, because the internet can be your friend. But I don't watch River Plate games. I don't watch the Argentinian league. It's hard enough keeping up with more than the Premier League, which I do. But as far as River Plate, I can't be like, oh yeah, they're counterattacking. I don't know as far as tactics, but when I look at all the other extrapolating circumstances that cause managers to fail here, I can see why maybe this might be a choice that makes sense. Because also, I know Paul's he's brought up Ainge Postecoglou or whatever the fuck, and fair play. He manages Celtic. He can operate off. I'm assuming their budget's not that big if they're loaning Carter Vickers from us a few times and got Joe Hart on a free. So
Yeah.
for me, this is the area of managers we need to be looking at. Maybe Dangelsman is a little bit above where we're at, and I think patches over, just like Antonio did, just like Jose did, patches over kind of where we're at as a team, as far as players, academy, structure, ethos, these big words, right? This might be a guy that just he might wait for the Chelsea job to open up. I talked to a lot of Chelsea people, and they all hate Potter. Everyone's get Harry Potter out of my club. And you know what? They all say that,
They hate him.
Yeah, they do. And the thing about it is, would Potter work here is what someone said to me on the Chelsea pod the other day. They said, maybe Graham Potter should be with y'all and Antonio Conte should be with us because of the style, like the type of clubs that we are. And honestly, I never wanted Potter. I never really rated him even when we were linked with him. Dangelsman, I think, is just like a unilateral step from where we're at as far as like.
I wanted him
opinion
over
of it.
Nuno, like that summer.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
have much rather have had Potter, obviously. But other than that,
He
I've
was
never
up there
really
in
said
this-
like, oh, we need Graham Potter at the club. Like he's going to be the one to bring us to glory. Like I've never really felt that way. But when we were kind of linked with him that summer, at least for a short period of time that summer, I was excited about it, and I was like, you know what? Let's get him in. Brighton have been a team that have been very good. They've been obviously a little bit mid-table, but they've been getting better and better each season. They had really good players, young players that he had been developing over there. But now, I'm good, man. I'm good on that. I don't think I want Potter. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
I think they can keep him on that.
Yeah, they can keep him. But the thing is they want Dangelsman now that he's become available, and there's been other clubs that have talked about they want him if he became available. So he's a hot commodity, and it is one of those things. It's like you got to just go get that done before it gets snatched up, because sometimes when a deal's out there, you got to go buy it and you got to go get it.
I mean, it was reported. It was reported. Shout out Wade Bonner. I'm sorry, Jacob. It was reported that Bayern had gone after Tuchel really, really quickly, because it was reported that we were in talks for a possibility of linking up as our next manager, which don't even get me started on that. But that just shows you how quickly, things can change. You know what I mean? You never know.
Things change quickly. When we were talking about, after the comments came out, everyone said, "Oh, we're on Antonio watch," or "We're on Antonio watch." Everyone's watching. All the titles are similar to what I titled it today, which is Conte out ? Poch in ? Like, where the fuck are we at as a club? And it's shambles any way you shape it. Our manager said all this. He said all these things to us. And to me, it's just like embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing where we're at. We're doing this thing where we're just like, okay, Jose, serial winner, let's get him in. Yeah. Conte, he's won. He's Jose in his prime. Let's get him in. And then it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Is my shit all right? I keep getting.
No, you're good. No,
like,
you sound
it
good.
says 0 viewers and my Wi-Fi signal's messing up.
No, it only says 1 viewer for me, but when I keep refreshing YouTube, that's what I'm doing on the side, just to kind of keep an eye out. We have 26 in the chat right now. So
big shout out to the 26. Make sure you hit that like while you're here.
I think
participate in the poll.
Kind of bugging today. It's weird.
Yeah, StreamYard may be bugging out. Daniel Levy, I heard, has been pulling plugs on a lot of streams. We are Tottenham TV. I was watching their panel show, and they fucking, their shit crashed, and they're one of the bigger Spurs channels. So if they're crashing out on them, I'd imagine everyone else is going to get the same treatment. But participate in the poll, Michael. I don't know if you've seen the poll. The question is, how close are Michael and Poch? Right now in the lead, tied for first, actually. Buddies / they share dinner and showers. So 30% think that you are buddies and y'all share dinner and showers. And then
I just want to say a kind and soft fuck you to everyone who's voted Poch isn't the answer, but that's cool. Because hey, don't be a hater, man. Just.
I mean, honestly, I put that one in there.
Photoshop.
Those are Photoshop. Yeah, 19% say those are Photoshop. So
I did meet him. It was one of the best days of my life looking back, man. It was so cool. Harry Kane scored also. It was a banger of a goal, even though Tottenham lost to the MLS All-Star team. We played our youth players in like Dele Alli in the second half, so can't blame them.
Yeah.
It was a good time, man. It was a really good time. I was in high school. I was geeking out, as a little high schooler.
And you were there, brother. It's serendipitous that you were there. He was touring. You were wearing the kit. He was wearing the training
stadium, out of all places.
You don't even live in Denver. What were you even doing in Denver?
It was for the MLS All-Star game. They were playing Tottenham.
Oh, okay. So you went there specifically for that.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact that you ran into him
But I was at a Denver Broncos stadium tour. Like, that was the thing. Like, he just
the
walked
day
in
before,
and he was taking a tour also. And I was like, oh, shit.
Hey, big up Lazy 8.
And I was nervous, man. I was nervous. And my mom was like, go take a picture with him. And I was like, all right, I'm going.
Aaron Dub, to answer this question, bureaucratic bullshit. Don't worry. April 13th, look out for it in the April area. We're going to do a show and then see who's going to be the first super chatter.
Appreciate you, though.
Appreciate you thinking out for us, though. Appreciate you also being a...
Hashtag soon.
Appreciate you being a patron member as well. Big up, Aaron Dub.
Big up.
Paul Beatty's in the house. Postecoglou doesn't have enough experience, but Schlagelman, it's Dangelman, not Schlangelman. Schlegelman. Schlangelman. Dingle dangle.
Dingle dangle, jingle jingle.
Big up Daniela Zito says afternoon, evening.
Big up.
It is Ramadan Mubarak.
Yep. That's what I said.
My longest running friendship. You think I would know this because my longest running friendship, he celebrates this. So that's my fault. But shout out everyone who big up Phil P. Woo!
Shout out.
Woo! Evening all, how's life, gang? Not going to lie, it's been a wild roller coaster of a week, but we've made it a Friday. Kudos all around. Yeah, happy Friday. I don't think I said happy Friday to anyone. So big up, happy Friday, everybody. And I don't know how many of y'all watching because StreamYard says 1. Which
We're at
shout out
now.
Hey, shout out the ones of you.
Shout out.
Big up Hotspur. Dangelsman wasn't top with a club team like Bayern Munich who win the Bundesliga every season. I'm not keen on him after that. Then again, no manager will succeed under. I think the last sentence is the main one. It doesn't matter. That's what I've been saying. It doesn't matter if it's Dangelsman. Doesn't matter if it's fucking Joe Schmo from the street.
They're still going to get disappointed and let down by the club, by the board.
Exactly.
Right.
They're going to get misled. And
this is where I'm at, man. Just fuck it. Let's just get someone in who's going to play free-flowing, attacking football. Let's at least enjoy the ride and make it fun and have some happy memories while we're at it. That's where I'm at, man. Like, just get me back to wanting and looking forward to match days. Like, I genuinely do not look forward to match days anymore. It's just like it's match day. Like, let me turn on the game. It's not like, all right, got to wake up at this time. Like, it's match day. Like, I'm ready. I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait for this game. I'm just not really there anymore, man. I'm like numb to the pain now that this club has inflicted upon me time and time again.
That's a damn shame, isn't it?
I'm numb.
It's a damn shame, isn't it? And it's folks like you. I know Kuva, he's followed this club a long time. There's people who've been following this club longer than I've been alive. And they're falling out of love with their club. And to me, that's the most heartbreaking part. Because it's like capitalism at its finest, in my opinion. I'm not going to go down the road of economical jibber jabber because I'm not trying to say capitalism yay or nay, but I did just want to say that like it's really the side effects of it that's gutting out the culture and the history of Tottenham Hotspur. The things that have made us great, we don't even identify with anymore, and we haven't for quite some time, and that's the problem. It's been the culture that has been built over here is this fake glass. I just want to say it's like we put the cockerel in a glass case and we just look at it and pay to look at it, but don't fucking touch it. And whereas it used to be something that everyone got to be a part of and touch and hold, and now it's this thing that you can't, like, don't touch it. I don't know if that makes any sense or if I'm just chatting shit, but honestly, it's just sad to see, man. I still get that little bit of a jitter just because, I don't know. I love seeing my favorite players play well, and I wake up every game day hoping that that's the case, that's what I'm going to see is my favorite players playing well. I have a lot of my most disliked players on the club as well, and I even hope that they play well on match day. But the sad truth is, it's hard to be very excited anymore. It's almost like waking up like, all right, I got to get up for this fucking game. I got to get my fucking breakfast made because I need to make sure I have a cup of coffee before I watch this so I can properly talk shit about players. And I don't like that. I don't like being in that set where it's like, I got to look at this game and figure out, okay, who fucked it up the worst. I'd rather be talking about who fucking made my undies the nastiest. You know what I'm saying? But I don't get that no more. That used to be what we got. And there's no hope. There's no soggy undies. They're drying up. And you're muted, by the way, Michael.
It used to be a debate of whether it was Harry Kane or Heung Son or Ericsson or,
who's sending me on the wave tonight,
who's gonna get BDE of the match, who's gonna win, it's just players going out there and giving their all for the club and playing with some fucking flair, finesse, with some confidence, with some some BDE.
The last time we did BDE was Palace away. That's the last time we did a BDE award on this channel. And that's fucking sad because that's one of my favorite awards to give out on this channel. If anyone who's followed us from the beginning, as you know.
It's only after a win.
Only after a win.
BDE of the matches for a fucking draw or loss.
Yeah, even if it's like a shit. Oh my God. It's just so upsetting. It's honestly so upsetting. That's why I just think it doesn't matter who we choose. Kuva says there's a lot of very good managers we could choose, But if nothing else changes at the club, then it's a waste of time and money. Exactly, Kuva. You're echoing my sentiments here. May as well keep Mason. Yeah, Mason in, buddy. That's that's what you've been saying. I followed you, my friends. I'm gonna give you credit for that. Bobby K, big up Jacob, Michael, and everyone in the chat. Big up Bobby K with 3 Spurs Boys. Big up yourself, my friend. Everyone go over there, subscribe to 3 Spurs Boys as well. They got a great channel over there. They got some fresh content coming out soon. I know. I've heard through the grapevine. It's traveled all the way down here, and I've heard. But Bader, Ben, if I can join your stream a lot this month, it's because I can't watch Coffee and Biscuits before. Oh, yeah, shout out to Kaufman. Go also subscribe there. This is a good moment to plug every other channel. If mods, if you want to plug your channel, plug anyone's channel at this time, please do. That's something I want to try doing, just promote everybody. Go subscribe to everybody. Sava from Football Heritage TV said something that stuck with me is, how can you have the most well-rounded opinion if you only listen to what you want, like what you agree with? And I think it's great to get opinions from all ends of the spectrum, no matter what you kind of think. And that's the thing. If anyone who follows this channel, Michael and I, we're always down to hear what other people think about stuff. So please do. I always say, correct me if I'm wrong. I like being proved wrong. J-Co, Danglesman over Poch any day of the week. Big up, J-Co. Let's see, where else are we at? I feel like I'm kind of behind in the chat. You're getting me lost in the sauce of the manager talk, and honestly, it's fucking... I get angry, and then I get a little bit damp thinking about other situations. Some of the very best in the community present and correct in this chat. Woo! That's right, Phil P. You know where to keep it locked. Yeah. We keep it popping over here. Bobby K is in the building. Chelsea Sack Potter get Conte, then win the league. LOL then he tells Levy to put it where the sun don't shine. Yeah. He needs to do that on the way out. Kane. Yeah, do you want to shout out Kane real quick, Michael?
Yeah.
Where's he at?
54, baby.
No, where's he at? No,
he's right here.
I need to see it. Yeah. Let me see that. It's a little bright. What's up? Come on, camera. What a man.
I think it's
what
just
a
the
man,
light.
what a man, what a mighty good man.
What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Hotspur says Deitch in. Sean Dyche, isn't he employed already? Didn't Everton? Was it Everton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everton. That's right.
Yeah, I was right. Let's see. I'm running through the chat here, trying to not pull up something that y'all just talking about. But shout out the chat. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me check the subscriber count. The person who unsubbed has resubbed. We are back up to 1,038 subs.
There you go.
So big up every single one of yous. They're back. They resubscribed, and I didn't even have to do the whole trick, where you turn the chat into subscribers mode only, because sometimes your haters, you want to make sure they subscribe at least before they keep hating. Let's see. Shout out Leo, Maha Hotspur, Phil P. Expressions did a shout out to Phil P. Oh, nice. That's big. Expressions did a Phil P shout out. Woo indeed. Hang in there, Ellie. Get well soon. I saw his name in the chat, and honestly, the state of Spurs, there's only one man who can save us.
Yeah.
And he's in the back end now. We're going to bring him on in just 1 second, but before I do that, I want to say shout out everyone in the house. But I was trying to think of some kind of poetic way to welcome him in, like a red carpet. We could just roll it out for him, because honestly, if there's one person in the YouTube community that I would personally go to a carpet store and purchase red fabric to then lay out for this man to enter into any establishment, this is the man that I would do it for. And his name is Kuva. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Big up, Jacob.
Big up.
Yeah, thanks for the intro. More of the same place. Yeah, okay.
How are you doing?
Oh yeah, I've been doing well. I mean, it's one of those days where the usual turmoil at the club and the we're all arguing about different things about management and ownership and everything like that. I mean, been having big arguments all throughout the day with the likes of Sava and Perchi, and it's weird because we all kind of agree on so much, but then it just takes one little thing, and then you're not in sync with somebody, and it feels like the argument's building. But yeah,
who you arguing with, Kuva? Who you arguing with? Did I miss the show? Did I miss the show?
Yeah, I just refuse to back down from my view on Levy and blaming him for the overall state we're in as a club. It's to the point where it's actually tiring doing it, but that is genuinely the way I feel about it. We're in this mess because it's been built over decades, and it keeps coming back to the same common denominator. So as far as I'm concerned, new management talk, I'm all for it because I just want to see a change in the style of football. I want to see something a little bit more exciting to watch, something that makes me actually want to watch my team again, because at the moment I don't. That would be nice, but is it ultimately going to change anything unless the whole of the infrastructure changes with it? No, it's going to be just the next victim waiting to happen, won't it?
Burn it down, Kuva. That's what you said. Yeah. Burn it down
to the ground.
Down to
so
the
that
ground.
That is definitely a thought. I'm that frustrated with this club, and I see that little being done to change it, and so much apathy is surrounding it, both within and outside the club, within the fan base as well. It's like I'm not going to be nasty about fans being in this mindset, but I think it's more a case of becoming accustomed to it. We're a club that doesn't win things, so there's I refuse to just sink down to that level where I haven't got the bar set really high up. I want great football and win things. Both have to happen. I'm never settle for one or the other. So for me, it's a big thing. It's a cultural change. It's a mindset change. Whether I'm getting to the point where I think, were we actually cursed? Because there was that rumor about we had some sort of gypsy curse put on the ground, and that's why we don't win things. It's a bit of a weird one, but I mean, you start
at this point,
like
yeah. At a certain point, you really start questioning things like that.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
We get so close so often, and then it's like the rug's pulled away from underneath us, or we just don't have the extra bit to get over the line. It's so frustrating. I just cannot see it changing without some sort of catastrophic event that to sort of realign the whole club. That's either the owner going, or it's a manager coming in that's allowed to actually bring his full entourage in, and all the signings going through him, and it's basically Levy saying, I'm actually going to relinquish the control here. If he can do that, and we can get football people in to run the football side properly, I think we could still do something under this ownership. But 23 years later, I haven't seen any sign of that ever happening. So it's frustration, mate. I think at the end of the day, short-term fix, just get some football in worth watching. Somebody with a bit of excitement, whether it's a Nagelsmann or Dingerling or whatever you want to call him.
Excuse me, I was about to say who? Who?
Why do you call him that?
Yeah, whether it's a return of Pochettino, it doesn't matter. Even Ryan Mason. People are like slagging off Ryan Mason, but you know what? When he was caretaker manager for us before, he did okay. We had 6 league games. He won 4 of them. We scored about 14 goals. It was all right. Nothing spectacular. Of course, he's going to be remembered because he's the manager that took over from Mourinho when we lost the cup final. So, of course, that's always going to hang around his neck. But just till the end of the season, just get somebody in. I love the idea of Mason coming in with Harry Redknapp as an assistant manager. That was one of the rumours going around.
I heard that getting thrown around.
That's a bit of fun. That's a bit of feel-good factor to that, bit of nostalgia.
Look, shout out this person on Twitch named Simone. How do you say his
Simeon Inzaghi? Inzaghi. He's the manager for Inter. No, thank you, senor. Thanks for the offer, but I am good on that.
I think they're gonna get their wish and get Antonio back. He's in Italy. You got to imagine
next season. Yeah, I think he's going to be at Inter.
You got to imagine he's had dinner with someone while he's there. While they're like, oh, you're probably not going to be at Tottenham too much longer. What are you doing next summer? And I just the whole thing of him going to Italy and then now Stellini's managing training. We've had training at Tottenham Hotspur Way, if you didn't remember, and so that's the part that really bothers me. I think the fact that this is what the second or third time he's fucked off to Italy. I mean, I've got a little dingle figurine of him. I love the guy, but since before the Champions League thing, where he started questioning his job here and I'm just supposed to get fourth, like, I understand that's the culture of the club, and he started saying, and I appreciated him being honest like that, but at a certain time it's just like, man, sorry, my Wi-Fi thing's fucking me up again. It's doing the Wi-Fi thing.
No, you're
again.
good. You're good.
And then y'all like both stopped moving at the same time, so I was like, oh,
no, you're good.
Did I freeze? But he started really rubbing me the wrong way. I love the guy. I've been singing Antonio for a long time, singing that motherfucker's name. And it's just like the things he said, okay, I agree with. I don't disagree with any of them. I'm glad that he said them. And I'm glad that he's fed up with us, because honestly, I'm kind of fed up with us as well. And the thing is, he might just have to be a martyr. We have to cut his head off and let this be the stone or the straw that breaks the camel's back, and the camel being this fucking infrastructure that we built this entire club upon. And to me, head's gotta roll, man. Head's gotta roll. And the fact that not one fucking head has rolled since he's said what he said, to me, it's very alarming. He fucked off to Italy. Stellini's running training. What are we even fucking doing at this point? Are we gonna
Jacob, what's the reason anything ever happens at this club?
Cha-ching, baby.
Know it, man. It's yeah. I think my gut feeling is Conte's in Italy at the moment because he's having some conversations about next job. Because if he agrees to leave Tottenham early before his contract expires, and he's got another job to walk straight into, I think that will kind of negate the compensation deal a bit, won't it? Because he will be finding employment immediately. So it might be a beneficial thing at the end of the day. Because let's face it, he's gone, hasn't he? I mean, he's managing us now.
That's what it feels like, at least.
Big up Mark Cousins, fellow. Big up. Oh, I want to shout him out specifically because any chat we be bumping into each other at, we have a running joke with each other. So he says, big up Jacob and Michael. Yes, I have liked the stream. That's just a little ode to the polls that we do here on United Spurs of America. I'll never ask in a poll. I will never ask in a poll, have you liked the stream? I'm just going to ask you in person, like the stream. I might type it in the comments, but I will never ask you in a poll. So I despise it. Honestly, I look down upon it, much like I look down upon a lot of nasty, bad things like dictators and stuff. So, yeah, don't make me fucking vote to see the chat. I'm here to fucking see the chat and listen to the fucking chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to listen to the people chat and see the chat, read the chat, interact with the chat, maybe remind everyone to drink some water, because damn it, it's a good reminder for everyone. Drink some damn water. Or something. Hydrate yourself. Bless your body. Hydrate time. So we have 24 votes, and in the lead is Michael and Poch are closer than PB and Jam. That's pretty sweet.
I appreciate that.
I can imagine y'all on a little sandwich together, rolled up together like a little nice sticky sandwich. Yeah.
Or pancake maybe in your case.
Yeah, that's right. Which
I wouldn't mind that either.
Hey. Shout out Catman Jess. Sounds like someone tried peanut butter on pancakes and had a good time, because honestly, that's a great combo if you haven't. And Do As Bader says, subscribe to everyone. Everyone, subscribe. Which big ups, Ma Hotspur, you should be a mod now. You asked to be a mod. There you go. Ben Kaufman, Tim Sherwood, and what do y'all think about that?
No, stop.
You know what? Compared to Conte Ball, I'll probably take it. I like Tim Sherwood's press conferences. They're always fun. It wasn't a great manager for us and out of his depth in a lot of games, but a lot of the things he said were true. It's I always remember some of the ones when him talking about you can't be everybody's friend, and you've got to be nasty sometimes and draw that sort of winning mentality out of players around you.
Yeah, don't help a motherfucker up. Help a motherfucker down.
Yeah. It's so correct. And he's also been a big advocate for bringing the youth players through in the from the club. Just stop doing that.
What does this mean, Kuva? YouTube tart. What does that mean?
Bit of a slag, bit of a hussy. Go around all the channels. Yeah.
But that's the thing. If you were a hussy, you would have gone around the channels maybe once, twice, and then everyone would have said, "Thank you, Kuva, for your contributions. We'll keep it moving." But as far as I can see, you're a hot commodity. You are requested. You are the hottest cam girl on the market.
Ooh.
And you're not tied down to any one website. You're not just on OnlyFans. You're not just on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You're everywhere, Kuva. You're international. You are transcending. So I like the fact that
if I was on OnlyFans, that would break the internet.
Oh shit! My wife just turned the light on me. Scared the hell out of me.
Was that the talk of OnlyFans today?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, OnlyFans brought her out.
You know, when the club's closing, they turn on the lights. Get the fuck out of here. Yep, I heard you say something about OnlyFans. That's it. Everyone's showing some love to Kuva. I love to see it. Y'all know we like to keep the love flowing here on much like the water and the moisture. We like to keep it all flowing. Big up Kuva and Kuva the KANE moving to Saturdays. If anyone didn't hear, with 3 Spurs boys. So, right? Isn't that right? Moving to Saturdays, Kuva?
Yeah, we're going to do alternate Saturdays with Bob Spur TV, just keeping the slot for In the Wall. And then every other week it'll be Bobby K and I doing the Saturday show now.
Very nice. I'm going to be there for the inaugural one. I'm going to be there.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a party one, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we probably won't talk Tottenham at all, so that'll be a good time.
I certainly hope not, because otherwise I'm leaving.
Bagelsman, that's a good one too. But I like
Bagelsman.
Well, okay, I'm gonna end this poll. I'm gonna start a poll. What if we sign Julian? I'm gonna ask everyone. All right, let me end this poll real quick. I'm gonna ask everyone. What are we gonna nickname him? And I want to hear. We're all gonna have a suggestion, and then we'll throw another wild card out there. But I ended it, and the winner is Closer Than PB and Jam. Close second place is Buddies. They share dinners and showers. That one's sexy, so I like that one. 20% says those are Photoshop. You got 20% that think it's Photoshop. And then another 20% says POCH isn't the answer, but that's cool. So I don't.
The shower one again, it fits in with staying hydrated, doesn't it?
Hey, you know I like to keep at least one answer with some wetness. I used to do at least 3, but now I do only at least 1.
That's fair enough.
All right, so what are the suggestions here? I obviously first is going Danglesman. That's mine. What do you got, Kuva or Michael?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bungle Dink's a good manager to come in.
Bungle Dinks.
Yeah.
Bungle Dinks.
J Daddy.
Are you going to put a man at the end of it, or?
No, let's leave it a surprise.
Bungle Dinksman.
Bungle Dinks surprise. Yeah, that'll be it. No, I think there's a lot of managers out there that are both young, fresh ideas, attacking football, want to take the game to the opposition, want their teams to play with a little bit of devil may care, a little bit looser than these tight tactical formations. They want to see a little bit more freedom of expression. And
hey, Kuva, you know a manager that's like that I suggested on Saturday? I don't know if you saw the stream on Saturday. You know which manager I suggested that fits that profile?
Ryan Mason, wasn't it?
No, it was Fonseca.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he does. He does fit that.
And Jacob got upset, but I said, "Get the Fonz in here." I wouldn't mind getting Fonseca. I wouldn't mind it. It would just be so awkward with Paratici still in, because obviously what happened last time. But
he might not be.
Get him in, man. I would take him. I would take him.
Yeah, I think that's the big hope for me. Immediate things that need to change at the club. If Conte's going, for God's sake, get rid of Paratici. I think he's a bigger problem at the club than Conte is for me, because he's going to, if he stays, he's going to have a big influence on who the next manager is. And look at the types we've got coming in. Pragmatic manager, pragmatic manager, pragmatic manager. Wonder what the next one could possibly be if he's at the club. So, it's changing that infrastructure. Paratici is part of it. And let's face it, he can't even trade in Italy anymore, can he? It's ridiculous. With director of football whose biggest source of pool of resources is in his home country, where he can't ply his trade because he's banned. That's just it's only at Tottenham can you do that, really.
Yeah. But I'm just kind of over it too, man. I agree with you. I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, Nagelsmann. I think the talk of Gallardo's good as well. He's a really exciting manager. He was certainly an exciting player. There's so many. Anybody that plays the sort of Bielsa mold, like Gallardo does. Bielsa was an incredible. Well, he would be a manager I'd be prepared to go for compared to what we have been doing. But I think he's probably getting a little bit too long in the tooth now. So Luis Enrique, that's another one, plays the same style of football, play on the front foot, opponent's half. Yeah, okay, fair enough, mate. Yeah, we could burn hilarious. It down. Yeah, there's quite a few to choose. I mean, De Zerbi's getting rave reviews at Brighton, quite rightly. Postecoglou at Celtic doing the same thing.
Kegelman.
There's, sorry, which one?
Kegelman.
That's
he used to manage Leipzig.
I've forgotten where he is German.
Now. He's unemployed right now.
That'll explain why then. Yeah, so there you go. That's probably the man then.
Let's get him in. All right.
It'd be cheap if he's not employed at the moment.
Okay, Michael, real quick, just to digress. What's your suggestion for if we sign Nagelsmann, what we're going to dub his name?
J Daddy.
J Daddy. All right. And then I'm going to throw in Bagelman because honestly, that one got my
Bagelman.
All right, let's all vote. What should be the wild card here? I've got Dengelsman, Bungle Dinks, J Daddy, and Kegelman or Bagelman is kind of where I'm at.
Bagelman.
I'm not going to pull that comment up because it's too close to something offensive over here. Wangelsman. Here we go.
Brian Dagelman.
Dagelman. That's a good one. Waterless Men. That's a good one.
Waterless Men. Jesus. He doesn't sound fun.
Finagelsman. That's a good one. That's a good one.
H2OG.
Get Poch Inelsman. Mark Cousins always saying he's magic, in every chat he's in. He's always bigging up Poch. So
he's magic, Mauricio Pochettino.
It's the same for me. It's more than just nostalgia. I've said it before. In my lifetime, he's the only Spurs manager we've had that's given me the feeling of, my God, we can win the league here. That's unreal to say that, because I watched some great teams in the 1980s we had, even the early 90s.
Wow, yeah,
Pochettino to do that and make me think, wow, we could actually.
Kuva, I would get chills when he would, greet either the away fans or the shelf stand. Just any time he would greet the fans and he would pat to his heart and obviously big up the fans, like chills, man. I swear it would run through my body every time.
I did
every time, because there's not a lot of managers these days, I feel like, who will like really just like give their all, their heart, just bleed the club. And back then it just really felt the connection.
Bro, y'all's skin is touched if you think about it.
We have.
Exactly. We have. So this is what I've also been saying.
Shaking hands. I've literally shaken hands with this hand.
Yeah, y'all have shared skin cells. You've exchanged skin cells with this man. To me, that's something special. You can't take that away from you or what he did for this club. I don't think that's the right move forward just on a personal level, because it's just the same nasty feeling of like going back to an ex, right? It's the same. Everyone's already talked about it. You've already heard me talk about it if you've heard me talk about it. But the only reason I would be happy that we brought Poch in is because I know how much it would mean to Michael, and that would make me happy. So
but like I said at the beginning of the stream, he's no longer my number one target right now anymore. Now that Nagelsmann is on the market, like, for just me personally, that's who I think we should go for, man. Attacking football. He's a young and well, I guess you could say up and coming, but obviously he's already been at Bayern. But you know what I mean? Like, this is a guy who's built a really good reputation. He's been successful where he's been. He's developed a lot of good players. I just really do feel like it would be the perfect fit for Tottenham. It's just a matter of whether or not we'd actually get the deal over the line. I can't bet on anything when it comes to Daniel Levy at this point. I have no idea what direction he's going to go for. I have no idea who he's going to hire. I really don't, honestly. You can tell me all the rumors you want. I have no idea. You can't. There is no deep down feeling I have right now of any manager that I think who is going to be next if Antonio does leave. Like, that's just where I'm at right now.
There's another one that not many people are talking about, but it kind of makes sense if we're looking for a bit of continuity with obviously new management.
Rob.
And I've forgotten his name again, but he's at the Eintracht Frankfurt manager.
Glasnow or whatever his name is, or Glasgow, Glaser,
Glasnost,
Glasnost.
No, Glasnow.
Glasnow.
Yeah. Because he does regularly play the 3-4-3, and it would mean there'll be less sort of a change
transition.
Up in staff, transition for the staff, but perhaps he could play it in a little bit more of an exciting way. But to be honest, I'm not thrilled with the idea as anyone.
Yeah. Not. That's the thing, Kuva. I just got to a point where nothing really makes me feel excited about. I mean, we sacked Conte. If he stays, I don't think he stays. I don't see how he can come back here. And I hear the argument of like, keep him and he'll help us get top 4 at least, and then he can fuck off when the contract ends. I think even if he comes back, these players have already fucking stopped playing for him. And after what he said, I'm not really looking forward to seeing how these players play for him. Alan Sibley's calling you a flip-flop Mike. Called flip-flop Mike.
What am I flip-flopping?
I guess your love for Poch and
did Poch's hand match his undoubted girth? Oh, you already know, Cockeyed TV. You know
oh, I like that. Was the hand girthy? Was it firm and girthy?
It was firm, very firm and girthy.
Shout out Alan Silly, yeah.
What?
It'll be a week since that press conference. Feels like months ago.
It does. It feels like forever ago, to be honest.
It's been too long.
I just feel like each morning I wake up and I get notifications from the Tottenham app and then like ESPN and Premier League, all that stuff, and I expect every morning there to be some sort of news like on Antonio Conte, and so far there hasn't been, at least recently, the past 48 hours.
I was really looking for it in the first, I would say 48 hours. There goes the light. All right, I guess we're safe. I can bring up OnlyFans again. The first few days after he said what he said, it was definitely like, am I going to refresh Twitter? What am I going to see? You know, I'm watching streams. They're like, he's sacked, and people are trying to take the piss out of it, you know, so I'm checking Twitter, like, did he get sacked? I'm just kind of refreshing. Honestly, it's the same thing with the signings at this point for me. Until Spurs official tweets it, I'm not going to think it's official, or Fab or Ali Gold, which, you know, make of the journalism what you will, but I tend to think that they only want to hit them sure things. They don't want to tweet something and then have egg on their face. They have a large following. So for me,
I was talking to Bob Spur about this a little while ago. It's got to the point now, he used to say things like, don't believe the signing until you see them hold up the shirt. But even, I was saying to him, even that has gone now. Because you look at Jed Spence, it doesn't matter if they hold the shirt up. It doesn't mean they're going to play for us. It's like it has to be physically there in front of you doing what you expect it to do for you to be able to believe it at this club. Otherwise, it's just all mindless words, isn't it? We're always in the dark. That's the general feeling for me. Guesswork all the way. Who is the next manager going to be? Can anybody really say for sure who it is? No.
Nope.
Ryan Mason. It's the easiest move. It's the simplest move. I know they're now trying to work some kind of wormhole. You know, Daniel Levy and the lawyers are going through. Is there something we can sack him for and not have to pay out? I think it's like 15 mil they have to pay him. They have to pay out what would have been his extension. if he's sacked without like justly cause or whatever. So now they're trying to say that his press conference does have justly cause for sacking. Does anyone else feel like that on the panel? What he said?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But it's understandable because they get butthurt up there in the board and over there in the owner's box. It's not surprising, but nah.
It's very difficult to have the opinion that Conte didn't say that to try and get himself sacked, isn't it? It's the kind of a bit of an underlying tone to it. However, Conte is the sort of manager that does speak heart on his sleeve. He will have these outbursts that he genuinely believes. Interesting that he backtracks it quickly the next day, but even more interesting the fact that the club didn't sack him straight away, because if that's the talk, if that is what it took for them to be talking about sacking him, that should have been done immediately, cost regardless. It should have been a statement thing, but they don't. It seems like they're on the back foot, and Conte's basically done one over on them, I think. At the end of the day, he's walking away with a payday, and he's not going to have his reputation tarnished.
Either way, he walks away getting paid, and I think, I don't know. To me, I don't care that the fact that he's going to get paid either way, because the state of this club, they've pretty much brought it upon themselves. That's kind of how I feel. Bader says Postecoglou in, so we've got some Postecoglou all aboard the Postecoglou choo-choo. Is what a big up, Paul. My Hotspur says, question for you guys: how would you feel if Conte doesn't get the sack? We manage to pip fourth place, and he signs an extension and stays. It is possible. It is possible in the sense that it's possible I could jump off of my 5-story apartment and not die. I mean, it's not likely, especially if I go head first, but I don't know. I just don't see it happening, especially after what he said. There's no way these players are going to like really dig in deep and find it within. If you listen to some of the quotes that came out after he said what he said, Kulusevski's kind of like, well, maybe, him leaving or not doesn't really do anything for me. Doesn't change what's, happening here for me. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is kind of like, oh, yeah, we deserve to be here. And it's just like a dumb quote. And it's just, I feel like the team's done. They don't want to play for him. I would argue that maybe our only hope for top 4 is the manager bump that we could hope for. And again, that's a hope. You're betting on a fucking frog landed on the right lily pad, but at the same time, you don't have any control where that frog's going. So, like, we could hope for this manager bump, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. I know that's kind of what teams do. It's like a fucking hit a drug, right? There's a team, I think, in the bottom half that they're on their 3rd manager this season because they're just chasing the high. Need that manager bump, And it's, to me, I don't want to become. That's what we do every fucking 2 years is try and get that manager bump to try and get top 4. And it happened last season, so why couldn't it happen this season? And I hate that shit. Go fucking win a cup. Challenge for top 4 while you win a cup. It's not that hard to do. You just got to do it right. That's for me. What do y'all think about this question?
I don't think it's a possibility whatsoever. The fact that Conte has gone back to Italy now and Stellini is running the club again, running the team again. Why else would he do that? I mean, Conte had only just returned. There's just it's almost deafening silence coming from the club right now. Speaks volumes. You can't. There's no way back from that. Just no way back. I mean, even if Conte does stay, and regardless of who does take over to the end of the season, there's nothing take for granted about that top 4's place anyway. It's a fight. There's several teams in for that position now. We are just one of them. You could argue that Newcastle, if they start banging the goals in again, they're in a better position than we are.
They have been too.
Yeah,
their last 2 games. Yeah, they've scored at least 2 gols.
Yeah, so
they're looking dangerous again.
It's a fight, isn't it? So there's no guarantees now. I'm kind of thinking new manager Banks maybe. Just the squad feeling happier is going to make a big difference, I think. That's what I'm saying. I'm not that concerned about Ryan Mason taking over. I'm really not. I think it's going to be such a weight lifted off the shoulders of a lot of players, in my opinion, because I think what the nature of this squad is, it's a friendly bunch of players. It's a happy group.
Yeah,
so
they'll go fucking hang out and laugh with Dave Portdick about fucking not winning shit. I'm gonna upload that video and play it because honestly, it pisses me off to high heaven the fact that this motherfucker, like, he really be laughing like that. Bro, you're the fucking reason we lose half the shit we lost this season, last season. You're the reason these managers. I'm gonna get heated, and I'm not gonna fucking turn this into fucking Eric Dyer. Fuck you, Eric Dyer. Is how I feel.
Answer the question. I would be okay with Conte staying and signing the extension and whatever. I just wish he was a little bit more flexible with his formations and like his tactics, and on a game-to-game basis, because like it's the same approach every single game, and the non-elasticity of the formation where he's just very rigid and is very stubborn, wants to play one way or the highway.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always work, and it hasn't always worked. It hasn't been always successful. That's like my one biggest gripe with Conte. If he was able to change that approach a little bit, maybe his assistants kind of convince him or something, or the players, I'd be okay with him staying if we got 3 quality first team and hopefully 1 borderline world-class center back, 3 center backs this summer, a new goalkeeper, another left wing back, 2 left wing backs. If you think about it, now we're probably going to need 2 left wing backs since Sessegnon's not going to pan out, and Perisic is apparently probably going to be on his way out in the summer. And then we need another attacker too. So there's just a lot of work to be done.
I agree, Mike. You could do all of that, but then look at what happened the summer just gone. That's why it's never going to work. It's because we just don't do this sort of thing. When we're talking about we need these borderline world-class players, where do they come from? They're not the signings we make anymore. It's been a very long time since we've been in that market. I'd go as far as to go back as Jurgen Klinsmann back in '94. That's the last world-class player we signed. The only reason we've done well in recent seasons is because we were lucky enough to get Gareth Bale to suddenly hit form and find out where his position should be, and that Harry Kane came through the academy. These are neither of which are players that we would sign if they were playing in their prime at another team. There's no way we would have gone in for them. It would have been completely out of our league. So we got lucky. That's basically what it comes down to. So all the plans of, big name manager in, or whether it's Conte stays and we're going to go spend big to match it, never going to happen. Not with this ownership. We've got to get lucky again with a young manager that gets some little gem coming through the academy, or a signing that's on the cheap, and we suddenly unearth an absolute diamond from the rough, because nothing's happening in terms of spending big and acting like a big club. We're just not one.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me back to the point of like scouting, recruitment, academy, etc. Like the whole system's flawed. It's time to just rewrite it, in my opinion. Thank you, Hotspur, for the question. I did type in the chat. If you got any questions, hit that Q. And if we don't bring it up right away, or if I just kind of scan over it on the comments, I will star it and save it for later. There is something I did want to ask y'all real quick while it is topical. Madarius Bunting said a while ago, Son should take the free kicks. He did score a direct free kick today. It was mighty impressive, if I do. But also the wall did kind of like, the guy turned away from it. Like he seemed afraid.
He also exposed the keeper on his other goal too. Caught the keeper out, curled it right over him.
That's hilarious.
Easy money for Sonny.
Kuva, what do you think? Sonny free kick? Do you say yay or nay? I saw Aaron Dubb say Pedro Porro.
Yeah, Porro.
Porro instead of Son?
Yeah.
You don't think Son gets that little bit of like seniority seasoning? He can get in line first or something?
He hasn't scored any.
If we're going with that, then Kane's going to take them forever, isn't he? So.
Well, I think we got to get to the point where we sit a bunch of chairs in a circle, and everyone sits there. We bring fucking Harry Kane in.
No one has seniority.
Intervention, that's what it's called, isn't it?
Yes, and we say, Harry Kane, you are Achilles. Your Achilles heel is free kicks. You need to accept it, and never. Anytime we win a free kick, just get in the box. Just stay in the box. Don't even think about it.
Really softly, though, wouldn't you? Harry, we all love you and everything, but you're the greatest goal scorer we've had in a lifetime.
England's greatest goal scorer ever.
You're magical player, but please stay away from the free kicks.
Every penalty, you have dibs. You have dibs on every penalty. Just free kicks. Just look at it like no matter the distance, don't size it up. No matter the distance, the side of that the ball got laid. Don't even worry about it, Harry. Just move on. That's how I feel. I'm pretty sure Michael feels
this is the reason why we need to sign some huge player like Ivan Toney. He's got to come in. Just when those opportunities come up on free kicks, he's got to be the one that stands up to KANE and just.
Or we can finally sign James Ward-Prowse and be done with it.
No. First, KANE's got to be scared off taking it.
Big up Mud for the comment. Also got another comment here from Adrian Troca says, how do you think KANE would feel putting on a Man United shirt after all his years at Spurs?
He would feel success and history.
I think he'd be completely reinvigorated. I think Ten Hag is a fantastic manager, and I think United are going places. And I think KANE will get them to those places. I think if they sign KANE, a couple more signings, they're going to be close to going for the league title again.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Kuva. I mean, to me, it's the most liable. But the thing about the KANE situation, and let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's be honest here. He's got 12 months on his contract. We want north of 100 mil for the guy. 12 months on the contract. We're going to be lucky to see 70 or above for him. I did hear something there thinking about offering Dean Henderson plus 70 for KANE. The thing for me is KANE getting to United in the first place, whether he does it this summer for a fee or he does it next year for a free. That's a big difference that's going to affect this club immensely, because then we're really stuck with Richarlison if he goes for a free. We're really stuck with him as our true number 9, and we got to hope he turns. But honestly, in my opinion, it needs 2 players to replace Harry Kane, just because of what he is offensively as a threat, and then as a playmaker as well. So,
I think the swap deal, 70 million plus Henderson, that would make sense. That's covered one of the people you need to replace, Hugo. So, yeah, I'd be up for that deal if it was me. We have made our own financial problems when it comes to signings at the moment. All those players we got out on loan that we can't get rid of. So
that's why I want Paul Mitchell back.
Any illusion of there being a big transfer budget come the summer, forget it. We can't sell anyone. So swap deals with cash is probably the way to go. Which would be by KANE. That's how bad it is. We have to sacrifice our best player to try and fix the team.
You want to identify talent again, Kuva, and you want to be successful in the transfer market, you get Paul Mitchell back in this club, but we won't.
I agree.
He's gonna go to like Liverpool or something that it's been reported. So
big up Mo.
There's plenty of others. Could take the entire setup from Brighton, Napoli. You know, there's Brentford. They're all picking out good players at good value. I think that's what we need at the moment. We need that kind of Brighton type setup. Keep talking about Bastonis and Gvardiol. They're never going to happen. We are not spending 90 million quid on a player.
You don't think so? How much you think Osimhen's going to go? Because my opinion, if I'm playing FIFA and I'm replacing KANE and he goes for a free,
he's going to be like 85. He's going to be like 85, 90 at least.
I think he's going north of 100. I heard Real Madrid. Now, Madarius, I did pass it. He says, thank y'all for Luka. He's a Real Madrid fan. And honestly, Luka Modric is a GOAT. And every time I watch Real Madrid, I text him. I'm like, Luka Modric really is the GOAT. And Vinicius Jr., I think, is becoming the best left forward in the world. Fuck Real Madrid.
Luka Modric, one of my favorite players I've ever seen pull on a Spurs shirt, without doubt.
And he's like wine. He just keeps getting better. I remember he joked when we got Bale back on loan. He joked, they were like, oh, why don't you go, have you thought about making a reunion back at Spurs? And he's like, oh, I'm too old now. They'd never have me. And I was like, at the time, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I did think, Ndombele was going to be good. But then it's just like, I'm watching him in the Champions League last year, and he's like creating everything for Real Madrid in the final or the semifinal. I can't remember which one it was, but I remember he was just like, I was really upset that I would take him back. He walks into this squad. I mean, quite frankly, if you had a player like him again, it's tough. We got some questions rolling in. Big up for everyone hitting us with the questions. First one that came in from Ben Kaufman. Kuva, what formation are we playing when we take over the club? So, okay, Kuva is our director of football.
Kuva's taking over.
No, actually, Kuva, you're going to be the chairman. You're taking Levy's spot. And then box office will take director of football. So you can keep him in check, Kuva. Keep box office under your thumb. There's a picture of you, Sava, and box office. And honestly, that's the threesome we need at Spurs. You, Sava, and box office run the club for us. I think we'll be in good hands at that point. What's the formation we're going with?
I don't think we will somehow, but I'll give it a go. Formation, I bet I can tell Ben's. He's going to go 4-4-2 like that. You know, but for me, I'm a big Ajax fan. Always have been. As long as I've been a Spurs fan, I've been an Ajax fan almost. I'm a big believer in the old Johan Cruyff system of total football, 3-7 formation. So you have 3 defensively minded players and 7 fluid, attacking, interchangeable players. You just play complete total football at all times. So for me, it's anything based on the Pochettino style play, the Pep Guardiola style of play, the Bielsa style. They all come from Gallardo, same sort of style. They all based on this. So there's variations of it. So for me, yeah, I'll at the moment with the squad we got, I'd go back to probably 4-2-3-1. I'd actually have KANE up front with Decky in the role just behind him in the number 10 slot. Then I'd have we're running out of players. Probably push Porro forward as a right winger at the moment.
Yeah, why not?
He's been great going forward recently.
Real quick, I want to say big up. Hotspurs. Click the Patreon link. I didn't pin it. That's probably my fault. But big up Hotspurs. They are an official supporter member. So before I go any further, let me edit this and add Hotspurs to the names. Here we go. Jamie. And we got Tot Spurs. Big up Tot Spurs becoming a Patreon member. If you want to become a Patreon member, you can go to patreon.com/United Spurs of America. Choose your club, and the party will continue to roll on. So check your name down below. Oh, wait, I need to put new. That's my thing. I'm trying to make it like, oh, look, here's a new name. So I'm going to put new. But big ups. Thank you, Todd Spur, for signing up. If you are interested, go to patreon.com/United Spurs America. It is in the description of this video. I did not pin it to the top, but big up Todd Spurs. Thank you for that. But Michael, we have a takeover. What's your formation? You take over the club.
4-3-3. 4-3-3. 3 midfielders, 1 holding, 1 box to box, and 1 more attacking minded. With left winger, right winger, Sonny, Kulusevski up top with KANE. And then, progressive fullbacks like we used to have back in the day with Danny Rose and Kyle Walker, man. I miss those days. I think Porro has a really good opportunity to be like that. He just needs to, tighten it up defensively. We've all seen that that's obviously his very much glaring weakness right now in his game. But going forward, I mean, Kuva already said it. He might as well be a right winger right now because of how well he's getting into really good positions. He's delivering some beautiful, beautiful crosses. His passing has been on point. His movement as well. He's been definitely one of the bright spots in the last few games, and that's why I was so frustrated. And that was one of the big points that I had made on Saturday after the stream, or at the stream after the game against Southampton, was the fact that he came off and he was, in my opinion, our best player up to that point of the match. And you saw how we finished the match. It wasn't the same with Emerson, and like I said, Emerson even had switched flanks. For some reason, Conte had him play on the left wing back position for a little bit of the match as well. So it was just, I don't know. I really like the way Porro's been playing, and I really hope the next manager is going to realize that he's got a really good and talented player on his hands.
Yeah, could be an interesting season next season in terms of the wing backs, couldn't it?
Yeah, Udogie coming in. Oh man, it's going to be exciting. You really that's the thing in terms of the new manager who's coming in. You have to make sure that whoever's coming in needs to have a system where he takes advantage of those wing back positions, because we have two really, really young, exciting players on our hands.
The chat. I knew someone. I was like, I wonder if anyone's going to say anything about what I said when I said Alex, box office, THFC, the professor of truth and entertainment himself. And Lazy A says, Alex as director of football, oy vey, we wouldn't make a single signing. No one would impress him enough because everyone's a loser. According to, he called Kane a loser because he ain't won anything. So everyone, it's funny. I think he's hilarious. He's one of a kind. You may not agree with him or not.
Yeah, I'll totally get Alex. He's just got very high standards.
Yeah.
I mean,
he goes to every match. You can never question his loyalty to this club. He's at every match. And Alan Sibley also. Alex as director of football, director of flip flops. It's great. If you don't know, get to know.
Scott Evans, another one, isn't he? The Canadian bloke. He's got very harsh opinions on players. It's not because he's just completely grumpy. It's just because his standards are so high for everything.
Yeah.
If they don't meet that standard, he's just not interested. They're rubbish.
Big up Scott M. No matter what he says, whether I agree or disagree, I love Scott M. He was actually the first Patreon member ever. Him and Bobby K was why we started it up, and our UK supporters, because Anchor at the time was being a little bitch, and we had to ditch them hoes.
Scott, just a friendly reminder that Canada did not win a single game at the World Cup. Haven't said it in a long time.
That was fucking great, Michael. Thank you. I fucking love that you do that. Footy Judge Mo from Never a Foul. Big up Never a Foul as well. It's a great Big Six channel. Footy Judge Mo says, question, why would Nagelsmann choose Spurs if there are more stable clubs available? That's kind of what I was alluding to, Michael, a little bit earlier with the fact that I've been talking with some Chelsea people who really, as soon as the news broke, they said, sack Potter now and get this man now. Do what Bayern did. I think, if I may put on my little tinfoil hat for a second, let me just put that on. Ooh. I really think the reason why that maybe Bayern felt a little bit of pressure to make a move at the manager position right now was because they were thinking, okay, if Tottenham get Thomas Tuchel, that's actually who probably they wanted in the summer. In my tinfoil hat thesis, I'm gonna say us looking around managers and Thomas Tuchel being one of the top 3 in favorites as far as betting odds, I think that may have accelerated the rate at which Bayern was like, okay, things aren't going great. We've already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that we don't like that he's done. Maybe now we should make a move, kind of like how we're saying, get on Nagelsmann before another club like a Chelsea sees Nagelsmann is available. Let's go get him before Spurs. Who wouldn't love to do that? Pull a quick one over on Spurs. And why would he choose Spurs? Because of the state that we're in. This is kind of also what I was saying earlier, Mo. I don't think you were here, but I was also saying he's above where we're at as a club. Mason in. That's where we're at as a club. Mason in. Fucking give me. I'll take Gallardo as well, because he is not a person. He comes in. I don't think anyone's expecting him to fucking part the Red Sea like Moses. And when we got Jose, we were like, right, here's a man who's going to fucking change the tides of this club. Didn't happen. He got us to a final. We fucking sacked him before he. If it's not the managers, the players, the club, it's the club shooting itself in the foot at times as well, because it's just like, when do we get this right? Okay, we got to a fucking final. And guess what? We sacked him because he wasn't prioritizing top 4. That's atrocious. And then Conte, same thing. He gets us top 4, doesn't challenge for anything. And to me, Nagelsmann is above us. There's no reason he should choose Spurs other than maybe a marriage of convenience for him. Maybe another chance for him to prove himself because he's ashamed. Shame and respect is a big thing in the German culture. Sprechen Sie Deutsch, if you didn't know. Ich heiße Jakob. But I'm just saying he's above us. What do y'all think? Is he above us? Are we above him? I just think it's like Conte. He comes in.
I'm thinking, mein Deutsch ist sehr schlecht.
Oh, Kluber coming in. He wants Nagelsmann. I will. Fair warning. I did take German in high school, and I cheated for about 3 semesters out of the 4.
So you're fluent.
So I'm fucking fluent. Du saugst meine Fleisch is where I'll end this conversation in German. Which doesn't actually, I'm sure Kuva's like, what did he actually say? Because it was a nasty thing that I would try and say to get my teacher upset. But I don't think it's actually like a phrase in German. So, but du saugst, you know what saugst is, right? Kuva, sauken?
No, I don't know enough, mate.
It's like, it's what a vacuum does.
So
Fleisch,
I was gonna say that.
and Fleisch is meat.
Yeah. I
So-
think we can put those together quite comfortably.
That was the phrase I loved saying in high school in German. That was my name, and I can Hulk soll sie leben. I can sing Happy Birthday with a beer in my hand. But that's about it for me.
There's a lot of things that it just makes sense when you hear it, like Busterhalter.
Or Schweinhund. Schweinhund's another fun word.
Yeah.
But what do y'all think about this while I digress from that?
I don't think anyone's above the club. I'm gonna say it now. I'll say it again if I need to in future streams. But no one's above the club, man. No player, no coach, nobody is above this beautiful club. I'll leave it at that. Get this man in. Get this man in the club. So I've been saying it. I'll say it now. I'll say it again. I've said it before. If he's a free agent and if he's not employed, get Nagelsmann in. We need him.
Yeah, just somebody fresh with a bit of attacking intent.
Attacking, man, attacking. That's what I want right now. That's
So
where
let
I'm
me
at.
reword.
Fuck
Maybe
it.
not.
Just let me enjoy my football. If I'm not going to see any trophies,
I agree.
Let me at least have fun.
I want to digress from what I said a little bit because maybe I chose my words wrong. I didn't mean that he's above our club, like he's bigger than us. I just meant that he's at an operating level in which we are not operating. Same thing with Conte, same thing with Jose. These are guys who are good at their job coming to a club who's not good at the football side of their job. They're good at all the other stuff, the making money, making cinemas, taking a club and, timesing their worth, quadrupling, tripling their worth, whatever it may be. So they're good at that, but the football side is where it's not good. So I don't mean that he's bigger than our club. No player, no manager is bigger than this club. No owner is bigger than this club because the club predates any owner that can come in. And to me, I just more meant it as like, I just don't think that he comes in and gets any success here. And it doesn't matter if he is a successful coach, if he isn't, he's just not going to get it here, in my opinion. I'm almost rolling over at this point. Whatever, it's going to be what's going to be. Maybe it is better we just see some nice football. I don't know. Like I said, I still get the tinglies and the dinglies whenever Sonny scores, whenever Kane scores, whenever them two link up for a goal and add to another to the tally. Whenever Romero takes someone's fucking head off, gets a yellow, and then everyone cries, "Oh, he's so dumb! He's so dumb!" He's one of the best fucking players on our squad, and people take the piss out of him because he goes and gets an early yellow. To me, that's the kind of defender I want. A guy who's gonna go out there, put his body on the line, and fucking take out their best player in the first 15 minutes of every match. Fucking City, he takes out Holland. Milan, he took out Leao. And you know what? Those two players fucking played differently after he crunched our ass. And so anyone who calls him stupid, dumb, I'll always fight back. I know fans love to say Romero's not that great. Romero's not that great. That's fine. Keep sleeping. Keep sleeping, motherfucker. Because once he has a suitable partner to help guide him, once he finds the yen to his Toby or the jam to his peanut butter or the Pochettino to his Michael, once he has that, it's going to be a beautiful sight to see, and he's going to be one of the best defenders in the world. Mark my fucking words.
Oh, nicely said. I mean, I'll back it up. I said the other day, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to players at the club right now that I consider have got both the quality and the mental attributes to really make this club go places, I can only pick out 3 players: Romero, Kane, and Bentancur.
Bentancur.
Don't we miss that fucking guy?
Yeah,
I miss him a lot, man.
He's going to be a big miss. Now, people will say, "Oh yeah, but Kane goes missing in matches and as well." I look at Kane and I think back to when he first started, and he was told he couldn't make it because he wasn't fast enough. So he immediately goes out and gets a pair of running shoes and runs his ass off until he is fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
And Kane is one of those professionals that does put in the extra yard in training. He's constantly trying to improve himself. He's a dedicated professional. I don't see that with a lot of the other players. You look at the likes of Dele Alli on the bench, got the iPad out and he's doing whatever. It's a lesser thing for so many of them. I think there are few players around that I've always admired for this sort of thing. Big fat Frank at Chelsea, Frank Lampard. He used to do the same thing when he was at West Ham.
Why did they call him Fat Frank?
just
to shit on him. Fuck him. I don't care. But it's funny.
When he was at West Ham, he used to, after training would finish, he would stay and he'd keep practicing free kicks and shots and just keep practicing, keep practicing. And they said they used to have to ask him to leave because he'd stay there till it had gone dark. He just wanted to be that good. I want players at our club that have that kind of mentality, that will work their ass off on it. Ronaldo, Ronaldo, R9, R7, not
R7.
Yeah, he's another one. He would stay behind if he missed a free kick in a match. He'll stay behind and practice them. I think he said he'd try and do 10 in a row until he managed to get 10 in a row exactly where he wanted. He would stay there and keep practicing until it happened. Only when he achieved it, he'd finish training. I love that kind of professionalism. I kind of don't see it in a lot of our team. It's just an easy sort of it's an easy cakewalk, isn't it?
That's what Conte said.
It's been that way for a while, and it's been that way for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Conte said it. He's like, these players don't want pressure. These players don't want to play under stress. He said it. They're fucking pussies. He said it in the most diplomatic way he could, with the most broken English way he could. They're fucking pussies.
I think we had this conversation on this show a few weeks back as well, when I remember saying along the lines of, I think it's too easy for him at the club. Let's rip up all the training equipment, the new training facility, get sawdust on the ground, make it like a boxing gym, send them over an assault course, army style for fitness, barking orders at them.
There is a video that came out of Vincent Company. I know a few people have talked about it. And when I heard the first sentence, I was like, yeah, he would lose the locker room immediately. There'd be leaks to the press. He's fucking abusing us emotionally, mentally, and physically. He's the worst. This guy, if he came to Tottenham Vincent Company and said half that shit he said, which honestly, I would love for him to come, for a manager to come in and say what he said. Did you see it, Michael? That Vincent Company? Where he's like, you're all fucking little bitches and I got to take the shit in because y'all suck. Y'all have no desire. And he calls out, you over there, you fucking suck. You suck. You didn't do this. You talking and you're barking and you suck. And he's just talking, everyone just killing their ass. And honestly, we need that. And I think Antonio Conte tried that a little bit, saw that the kind of pushback he got from it and said, you know what, fine. And now you get reports that Emerson saying, oh, he doesn't really actually communicate with us. Richarlison, yeah, he doesn't really communicate with us. Even when I said, hey, I'm feeling good, I should start. To me, these are signs that he's checked out. I'm kind of getting back to the fucking manager shit. But I'm going to bring up another question real quick. We got a couple more questions that were saved. Aaron Dubb says, will Kuva be wearing the leopard skin latex outfit he wore at the bingo hall in Bristol at his virgin sacrificing ceremony at Stonehenge on the spring solstice?
I too would like to know this.
Of course I will.
Photos, or I don't believe you, Kuva. You got to send them to me.
No. It'll be on OnlyFans.
Okay, there we go. Plug in the OnlyFans. Here we go. Kuva99 on OnlyFans. There we go. Next question from Ben Spurs. Question: is Conte to blame for Son's form at Spurs? For me, playing him so deep to cover Perisic means he is never getting in behind. Also, explain why he plays best coming off the bench. I'll go real quick because I've said this many times on many different streams. I'm always fighting for my man Son. I think it's a little bit of the same reason why we blame Spurs for the state of we're at right now. I think it's a little bit of everything. The Perisic thing, when you don't know if they're going to pass you when you make a run and you make those runs, after a while you stop trying to make those runs. We see it every time Perisic is on the pitch. There's a time in which they're both on the left. Perisic has the ball. he can either push, pass, or backtrack. And what does he do? He fucking the safe route. Never finds Sonny, and we see him have Sonny have more success. Excuse me, when Ben Davies is out there, because I think that they've played together. They know where each other are going to be. They have a better understanding of, okay, Sonny's looking like he's about to make a run, whereas Perisic is probably like, I don't know what the fuck that looks like. I'm just going to pass it or I'm not. And I think it's just a little bit of clashing creativities there. So I do think that schematically as well, I do blame Conte as well for it, because if you look, Sonny, for me, hasn't played as much forward as he usually does. I think that he is asked to track back more, and I think that's why initially when Richarlison came in, we saw a little bit more success from him, or a little bit more praise, if you will, for Richarlison, because he's willing to track back and do that physical, dirty defensive work that I just think it doesn't favor Sonny. We saw today for Korea, prime example, when he comes off the bench, he plays kind of that free-flowing forward role more. He has a little bit more liberty and a little bit less responsibility to track back, and that's why I think we see so much success when he comes off the bench, especially when you look at the Leicester game where he came in, had the hat trick in 13 minutes. But remember, Bissouma came on at that point as well. The team's tactics changed in that moment, that also highlight and played to his best abilities. So when Sonny starts and we're playing this Conte ball in the beginning where he's tracking back, he's playing defensive, when we do have the ball, his back is to the goal. This is not favoring Sonny. That's my opinion. Do y'all have anything else you want to say about that?
I think you just covered these entire.
I was just gonna say ditto, my friend. I think that's basically how I feel too. We've been feeling like that though all season. I'm sorry, Kuva,
I love you, Sonny.
That's right. Sorry.
Go ahead, Kuva.
I was going to say there's a few little things I'll add to it as well. There's the deliberate change this season from getting KANE from doing his usual dropping back so much and getting forward into the box more. I remember Conte talking about this. He wants his number 9 in that penalty area where it really counts more. And Kane's goal tally has gone up again this season due to it. But as you quite rightly pointed out, Jacob, to counter that, Sonny is now playing a more of the defensive role. He's playing more like a left-sided midfielder.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing a hell of a lot of the covering work. That is not his game. And it's not down to Perisic, because the same happens when Perisic isn't playing. It is literally just that change in role for him this season.
Yeah.
He is doing a lot more of the defensive work and covering formations. And when you see him doing that and you realise what's going on, he can no longer be that last man forward that's playing off the shoulder of the last defender, trying to get in behind from a KANE flick on. That's been taken away from his game now. So, of course, he's going to suffer in terms of goals. And if you take goals away from Sonny, I'm sorry if it offends some people, but I think you've got a very average kind of footballer if you take his goals away. He's not the greatest when it comes to creativity. He's not somebody that's going to be picking out killer passes all the time. He's not terrible, but he's you've got either a devastating finisher that waits in the pounce, or you've got an average midfielder. We've got the average midfielder this season. Does a lot of work, but the goals are gone because of it. Consequences with everything, with every tactical change.
Spot on, Kuva. I agree with you. Thank you for that, Ben Spurs. Good question there. Bobby K's got a question. Paul Mitchell has just walked from Monaco. I love him, and he finds young talent. Does Levy swallow his pride and do everything to bring him back?
I already answered this one earlier.
I think he's off to Liverpool, man. I think he's really off to Liverpool. That's what I heard initially, and I just see why would he come to Spurs, man, with Levy here? I don't even know.
Absolutely cannot come to Spurs. Levy put him on gardening leave because they had a big falling out. There's no way on earth he's coming back in. Paul Mitchell said that this was his thing about Spurs is his dream job, because of Daniel Levy, turned into a living nightmare. This is not somebody that's going to come back to the club. It's gone. It's done and dusted. It's one of the things I beat Levy with is what happened with Paul Mitchell. We were going places under this bloke.
Yep.
That's sad. Yeah, well, I think we're all
You can point a lot of the early success, and it's the root of the success of the Pochettino era. You can root it back to when Paul Mitchell was recruiting a lot of those guys and brought them in for Pochettino. A lot of them for cheap deals, under the radar deals. Dele Alli $5 mil, Sonny 20 mil, if that. You had other players that I know. Obviously, there were misses here and there, but a lot of really, really good players came in. Toby Alderweireld came in under that reign as well. There was a lot of really good players that came. Trippier,
as well.
Wanyama, Trippier. Just guys that contributed, that became cogs in that first team for Pochettino that, frankly, ran the league for a lot of the majority of 3 seasons or so. Just couldn't get over the line. But yeah, get him in, man. I miss those days.
Yeah, I would.
Paul Mitchell bringing in guys that the manager could work with under the radar. People weren't really talking too much about them, and they ended up just being surprise success stories. It's kind of like Kvara at Napoli and Osimhen at Napoli. I know Osimhen was a little bit more popular than Kvara, but those two, like, just seeing their success, 2 guys that weren't necessarily the most popular. Like I said, Osimhen more popular than Kvara before they came to Napoli, but like 2 guys where they're really reaping the benefits of their scouting department. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Those are the kind of players that we fell in love with, the Dele Allis, those kind of players that I already repeated and spoke on. That is the type of player that really connects you to the club, and frankly is why I grew to love the club so much. So the more you get back to that, the more, I guess, quote unquote, Tottenham you're going to get. You know what I mean? Like, that's the Tottenham way. I guess, quote unquote, again. The Tottenham way.
Next question. Hotspur says, guys, 120 mil to spend in summer. Who would you buy and name the starting 11 for next season? 120. I guess we have to come to some agreement here before. What are we going to say? Who's our manager first and foremost? Because I think it's hard to say, oh, we're going to buy this.
For me, I'll make this a short and sweet for me. It's got to be at least 2 center backs, like Vardiol or a Bastoni or something. But it is very, very glaring and very, very apparent that the weakest part in our squad and our formation is the freaking center backs, and partially left wing back as well. But the center back position, man, like guys who can play at the back, guys who can play with the ball at their feet, guys who are not going to make boneheaded decisions like your Eric Dyers, like your Longlays, like your Davinson Sanchez's, your Ben Davies at times. Real world-class, borderline world-class, or at least just formidable first-team Premier League 11 players. Like, you need center backs, man, with this formation. Center backs, please.
Yeah, center backs, main position. For me, 120 mil, I'm going to go and spend 100 of that on Vardiol. Or however cheap. Let's say we could get him for 90. Give me 30 more mil to play with. I take that other 30 mil, and then I go and buy a bunch of young talent that I think I could get for 30 mil. I think you can get Xavi Simons from PSV. He can play anywhere on the front 3. He can play the cam as well. He's a young player. He played for Paris Saint-Germain. He's got a lot of talent, and he's doing really well over there in the Eredivisie for PSV. And I would also go and get a guy. He had an assist today, so I'm going to shout him out as well. Johan Bukayoko or Bukayoko, however you say his name. He's a young Belgium dude. He also plays for PSV, and I was really watching him because he was Madueke's backup before he got scooped up. And then I was kind of waiting to see, okay, is he going to be starting? Like, what is his opportunities? And literally, anytime he's had a chance, he's done really well, again, filling in that role for Madueke. So I think he can play that right wing position for us. But first and foremost, the first dollar I'm spending is on center back, because I agree with you, Michael. That's our first thing that needs to get solved. I'm going to 4 at the back. I'm playing. He said we're manager. Hotspur said at the end that we are the manager. So I'm going to kind of do the Poch wing back, but not wing back, full back thing. I'm going to do with Udogie and Porro on the right and the left. They can get up and attack as well. But I'm going to go with a 4-3-3 like Michael. Got Romero and Vardiol. Or if I want to be cheaper, give me Kim Min-jae. That'll save me some money. So
that would have been such a class signing, man. I'm so freaking frustrated we never got that over the line.
You could have had him for 8 mil, Michael, but guess what? Joe
we
Roden
didn't want to pay
16.
what, 1.5 of the mil?
Yeah,
that was what didn't get over the line. It was like 1.5 or something like that, or half.
So then we went and dropped 16 on Joe Roden. That doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense at all. So yeah, I'll do that, and then go give me a couple youngsters like Xavi Simons, or if I want to get another young center back to actually, groom one, I would go get Mickey Van de Veen from Wolfsburg. He's a great left-sided center back. He's tall, he's long, he's fast. He can get up and he can assist if you're doing a kind of the forward-thinking center back thing. To me, he's a great young talent. He deserves to be looked at as far as if we're looking at young talent. In the center back position, he can play the left side as well. So looking for a partner, a dancing partner with Romero. But that's my first bit of business. What about you, Kuva?
First piece of business for me, I'd go and get the Brentford goalkeeper Raya. I think it'd be good value for money.
How much you getting? How much you getting him for?
Hard to say nowadays. I would imagine something like 30 million is going to turn their heads. I think it's a good replacement. He's fantastic with the ball at his feet. We've needed this for a long time at this club because we're playing out from the back, manager after manager doing it. So get the goalkeeper sorted first. Jacob, I'm surprised you wouldn't go for that first as well. Get your man between the sticks right. You've got half the trouble done.
I just think why is Brandon Austin and Alfie Whiteman, why are they even around if we're not going to give them a chance? I'm kind of the mindset like, yes, Hugo's done. Forster's doing what he's doing. You know, that's fine. But in the summer, this is something that's got to be addressed. You are right. This is something that, but to me, I'm dropping big money on these, on the fucking big name center back. Go ahead and get someone here who actually should be here for another 8 years. You know what I mean? Instead of fucking Eric Dyer or Joe Roden.
Yeah, I agree.
So you're right. I should have thought about the goalkeeper, but I just still think we could get another year out of this little Foster Hugo partnership because I think
Foster's doing okay. I think
they could both give us another good 6 months out of it, each of them at least.
For me, it's the time to change right now. If we change a manager, fresh start. I would always start at the back goalkeeper. So Raya for me, get Romero a proper partner in a back two, possibly Anderson from Crystal Palace. Very good.
Joachim Anderson's a good shout.
I don't think he'd be amazingly expensive.
Kilman as well.
Little bit of backup. I'll take this an old stager at this point in his career, but Craig Dawson. He's at West Ham. I was struggling.
I've heard a few people say that actually.
Craig Dawson is just an out-and-out defender who doesn't let you down. He's a very solid man. He doesn't make many mistakes, and he's a threat in both boxes. He scored enough just against us.
Yeah.
So somebody like that as backup instead of having the sort of dodgy things like, oh my God, Sanchez is coming on. I worry about that kind of thing. I wouldn't worry about Craig Dawson coming on to fill in. That'll be fine. And he
like a Botman or someone else we were linked with.
Oh, well, yeah, Botman would have been obviously ideal, but not so to nice. Be. There's a few out
there. So many targets now that are flourishing at other clubs.
Good left-sided one if you're going to play with a 3 as well. Kim Min-jae, yeah, should have got him when we had the chance, nice and cheap, but didn't want to risk it.
And now we have to drop 80 for him, probably.
Well, he's gone then, no chance. So there's a few choices. I mean, I think Chelsea did well getting Badiashile as well. He would have done the trick. There's quite a few to choose from. You don't have to be looking at Gvardiols and Bastonis. We can go at a relatively lower level than that, but have a very good footballer. Somebody who's reliable, comfortable on the ball, can just play it out. That's what we need, footballing centre-backs again. Not what we currently got. We've got Romero who can do it, but otherwise, no. Let's recreate that Toby and Jan partnership as best we can with the money we got available. So, other than that, you could be looking at the likes of Ajax for Timber, another centre back that's been doing some great things in recent years.
He had a good World Cup too, if I'm not mistaken.
He did, yeah.
That's when I first heard of him. Timber for the Netherlands, right?
I've got a feeling he's going to be a bit too expensive as well now, but it's somebody that could be on the radar possibly.
Should have been this past summer if we had a chance to get him at a decent fee. But now, yeah, I agree. I think he's going to go for a little bit higher.
Yeah, and some who was it? Probably Sava talking about it at some point. If the likes of John Stones becomes available from Man City, yes, please.
Yes,
good
please.
football.
Literally anyone that comes out of City, I'll take. They fucking walk into this team. Their backups
don't buy
will walk.
rubbish, do they?
No, they don't. Oh my god, that's a whole nother. I'll take whatever.
Other than that, I think we've got some.
Could you imagine we got Zinchenko?
Oh, Zinchenko would have been great. Just a good footballer. That's all I'm always after. This is why I can't stand the likes of Emerson Royale. He is not a good footballer. He's not an intelligent ball-playing defender. We need that. We need that all over the pitch. Get 11 intelligent players that are technically sound and want to win, and you can do something with that. We don't have that. We've got players with a bit of talent or a lot of talent, perhaps not the right mindset. They haven't got the desire, that raw passion just to win the games no matter what. Or we've got the ones that are technically really gifted, perhaps lacking a certain attribute. Like if Højbjerg had more pace to him, he'd be a much better player, for example. He'd get around the pitch a lot more easily. I don't think he's, the finished article, but he can do a job. But we do have some that are there right now that we haven't been using. Bissouma, he's injured right now, but he never really got a crack of the whip. He should do. Perhaps if we build the team around him at the base of that as the midfield anchor.
I like that, yeah.
You get the likes of Skip and Bentancur trying to influence the game going box to box next season. Perhaps that'll go in with Mikey's 4-3-3. There's ways of doing it. Porro and Udogie are the ones that really excite me for next season.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. We've got a manager that is going to allow them just to go get them instead of worrying about doing the defensive work. They're not going to shine at that part of it. As far as I know, I don't think Udogie's that good defensively. I've not watched him that much.
From what I've seen, he seems a little reluctant to track back, and I don't know if that's
fine with me. If he just wants to bomb forward with his pace and skills and goals in him, that's fine. That's a good player for me.
Great.
I think we could do well, but it starts from the back for me. Defender, goalkeeper, just get them playing football from the back to start with. It will transform the team alone. Just with Udogie coming in then as well.
I agree with you. Maybe not the goalkeeper thing. That's a good shout too. I'm gonna run through these questions real quick. We'll run through them real fast. We're gonna try and end off here. Michael's got to go at 2 hours, which we're coming up upon. So we do got to end this stream in just a minute. But there's There's 2 more good questions that I want to make sure to ask. This one I'm pretty excited about. Israel Uncovered Amir says, any good young American players we could be looking at? I'll throw out one, Daryl Dike, Ricardo Pepi. Those are 2 cheap strikers you could go get. But if you're looking for something in the immediate future, Daryl Dike, he plays for West Brom Albion right now. But he was injured, and since he's come back from injury, he's bagged like 4 goals in 6 matches, something like that. He's doing great over there in the championship. He might help that team come up. If they do not, I would love to scoop him up on the cheapity cheap. He's one of my favorite strikers in America. So big up. They actually play here in a minute. So come on,
honestly, I wish we had Pulisic, man. I would love Christian Pulisic on Tottenham. I know we would damn well utilize him better than Chelsea have.
Oh, they just started. America
up the
Yanks versus Grenada. Where's Grenada?
I would say
Pepe starting, bro.
I wanted Weston McKennie before he went to Leeds, but now it's kind of hard. I don't know. Young American players. I guess I could be biased and say maybe Jesus Ferreira in the near future, possibly a European move on the horizon, but it's tough to say. I wish we could have Pulisic or Weston McKennie. That would be nice.
Bro, real quick, you'll care about this real quick, Michael. Brian Reynolds starting right back today.
Really?
Brian Reynolds.
That's
Shout
surprising.
out fucking Brian Reynolds. Also, it's a very FCD lineup for the States today with Pepe, McKennie, Reynolds. Come on, this is great. But yeah, also Chris Richards. I'd get Chris Richards from Palace as well. That's a defender.
He's good.
Chris Richards is good as well. That's a young American. I think he's like 24 or something like that.
It's a good shout.
Yeah, Chris Richards. Last question of the night. Lazy 8 question. What happens if Levy holds out on Kane one more season? United buy a different striker this summer like Osimhen is my bet. I'm just going to say that. I think that's someone the fans want as well. Where does Kane go then? Nowhere. Chelsea's Chelsea or Newcastle for me. Yeah. Alexander Isak is great, but he can also play out on the right or the left. You got to imagine, I would think with Sam Maximin, Newcastle would just do Sam Maximin, Kane, Isak. That's what I would say. So probably Newcastle or Chelsea would be my 2 bets. What about y'all?
Yeah,
yeah, I'd say Newcastle.
Newcastle
or Liverpool. They need a striker alongside Nunez if they want one, because now Firmino's leaving.
Possible.
Yeah, Firmino's leaving, so you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I often said that Firmino's one of the few players that could replace Harry Kane at Spurs, because they're that kind of they've got that ability to hold the ball up and link the play up so well.
That's a good player.
That's a good shout. But real quick before we end the show, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who is tuned in live or on demand. If you do, we are at 2 hours exactly. So Michael has got a jet. We will be closing this thing off. But I do want to say Monday is a new show coming out. Myself and the Perchy TV, we've got Unmundane Your Mondays coming out. So hopefully we can get that thing kicking off in beautiful fashion, have some great support for myself and Perchy starting a new little Monday show. So please do come check it out. The first one is this Monday. That's a little shameless plug. Come check us out. I do already have it scheduled. But big ups for everyone who has hit the like already. If you haven't already, please do. It's free. But if you do want to go the extra link of a chain, I guess, and click this link, patreon.com/United Spurs America. You can click that link. We got a bunch of tiers you can choose from, as easy as $1, £1 a month. You can become part of the Lovers Lane here. Or if you want to be like Alan Sibley, I think he does $25 a month. Does $25 a month in the Soggy Undies Club.
Shout out.
So shout out Alan Sibley, the one and only 10-inch himself. He also founded the 10-inch club. So big him up. Big up yourselves for everyone else on the Patreon list. You know who you are. Your name's been scrolling for the duration of this show. I just put them back up there again. And I also want to say special shout out to Wayne Bonner, the newest Lovers Lane member.
Wayne Bonner.
And big I've always said, you just remove one of them ends, he has a whole different take on life. But big shout out to Wayne Bonner, the newest member of the Lovers Lane, and big shout out to Hotspur as well, the newest member of the official supporters group. So big up yourselves, every single one of you. If you do want to become part of the exclusive club, go ahead and click that link and show some support. But that's it for me. Michael, what you got? Anything else?
No, just shout out to everyone in the comments. Thank you, Kuva, for joining us today. As always, it's always a pleasure being on here with you on the same panel. And yeah, go check us out on Monday and then next Friday as well. And until then, up the lads. And Jacob,
come on, you Spurs.
Coys.
United Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.